Look at this two-time Supercross champion. Hey, how'd it feel to lead a race again?
It felt pretty sweet.
How'd it feel to crash out?
Felt pretty normal.
Did you have Diana hovering over you while you're leading, giving you positive reinforcement and shoulder rubs?
She gave me a kiss after I won the heat race.
Oh, look at that!
So I got that.
Did you thank her on the podium?
I thanked her on my podium in the bathroom.
and then Zach, how did it feel to just blow it at Anaheim? Good start going backwards.
The same as Shaq. Just not while leading.
I know you guys are making SYS look really good at the first 4 or 5 laps of the race, and then it goes to shit real quick.
I got thumb pump.
I think that's pretty typical of me now.
The second thumb pump.
Yeah,
Hey, I got my 4 minutes of fame on the stream. You guys were loving it. So.
Yeah, I was loving it.
We gotta start training. Are we gonna do thumb wars?
Watch the Supercross live.
We don't get a crash out.
San Diego, well, actually, the Padres are going up there.
All right, Zach. Expectations rest of Supercross.
Qualify for every main event and get at least 1 top 5 and 5 top 10s.
At least 1 top 5 and 5 top 10s. How about you, Brian?
Expectations for all Supercross?
Yeah.
To have SYS stream say Shack Attack as many times as possible.
Shack Attack. We'll bust out the Shack Attack 12, 7, 371 on you. You're running triple numbers.
Yeah. The star's not representing the triple digits right now.
See, this guy over here, he was 166, then he was 66, then he was 6. This guy was 371. Then he won a championship, and then he was number 7, even though his forum account is Shack Attack 12. Has nothing to do with anything.
One day I'll be 12.
Yeah, I kept chopping numbers off on my way down.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand you going from 371 to 7,
Actually,
because then you lose the 3 and the 1.
I started 71. Very first Supercross, I was 71. And then the next year, I was 7. And then I lost that when I fell off of the game. And then I started riding again for real. And I was like, I need to pick a number. And so I was like, what number looks cool? It has no significance whatsoever.
But it was an extension of your 71 then.
It was like an extension of the 71. I didn't think of the 71 when I picked it. But
Well, obviously you like 71, or at least 7.
I didn't
Because you
kept
kept it around. But so where does 12 come from? Why Shack Attack 12?
12 is just like a family favorite number.
So when you were making a forum account in 2008,
Family
you
favorite
were...
number.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your family's favorite number?
52, it's on his wall.
101.
Is it 101?
You and your dad were number 101.
Yeah, but 101, my dad was, because that's where he finished in the points for the
But then
series.
he took it and then he took it back.
Dude, check out this shirt.
I think my
You wore that
first.
shirt last week.
I know.
I think my first.
I got so many likes. Real life
Like
likes.
so long ago.
I had way too many numbers
What?
growing up. I had
Last
like
week it feels like so long
65,
ago.
It does, right?
182, 162, then 62, and then 166. That's how many numbers I had from Pee-wees to intermediate class.
Growing up, I liked 5, and then I liked Ben Townley, so I ran 101. And then I ran that until I switched bikes, and I was 52.
I'll take the camera.
Oh, so you're going to film now?
Yeah, so you could be in the clip.
Well, I don't have anything to say. That was the only thing that I had interesting to provide to this conversation.
This is your opportunity to yell at people who have 4K skins.
Yeah, come on, guys. What are we doing here? I can't have a legitimate stream when you guys make these huge effing skins that are like 8 freaking megabytes per PNG, and you have 8 bikes for every rider. What are you doing?
Our pack's like a gig, so I don't know if you can really...
Yeah, but the difference with our pack versus their pack is that they claim it's just a Supercross only pack and that they're going to change it for outdoors. But I'm trying to claim that we're going to run that all season long, from now until the end of outdoors.
So it's their fault that you missed my whole shot checkout.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Brian got a beautiful hole shot. Beautiful.
I don't know about checkout, but...
Hey.
Yeah, you were getting caught by somebody for a
Burkeen.
minute. Was it Burkeen? Oh, at the end, yeah.
You won by 1 point.
Because my thumbs were literally shaking. I was like, I'm gonna win. It's been 4 years.
Is that what you were like when you were winning back in 2010 and 11? You were like,
No, I was just
coming to the line every time?
Back then it was different. I was like, one with my controller in the game.
One with my controller.
Back then it was don't crash, and you win.
What did it feel like when you were winning the title?
I hated it because I know a lot of people didn't like me when I was winning the title, so I always thought everyone was going to take me out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of true, somewhat.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got Kyle Robb banned for 7 rounds or something like
Well, it
that.
turns into like a chore. I think championships are more of a chore for sim. Like, you have to like practice when you don't really feel like playing video games.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially now that we have like real lives.
right, once you have like a real job and stuff, you don't want to deal with it. So you don't have time to win a championship.
Well, I mean,
you can be competitive and have fun.
That's why it feels like different about today, like when you guys were winning, or like more when he was winning, because you were already in like the try-hard generation a little bit, but like nobody cared that much. And so like now that everybody cares and puts a lot of effort into it, people that have like real jobs can't do anything because like you don't have the time to put in that these 13-year-old kids do.
Yeah, but then
All
you
day.
had guys that just have raw talent. Like Tyson does he really play all that
I think
often?
he plays a lot.
Really? I mean, these days I play maybe like an hour a day, or so.
I think like the most like raw talent you see is like Jeremy Smith because like like he goes to real school during the day and then he comes home and plays
and then
a
he
lot.
trains for real for actual Supercross, which is really good. I'm just envious of Jeremy Smith, I guess.
Love you, Jeremy Smith. Represent.
Represent Jersey.
He's pretty
Represent
good.
Jersey.
Trying to think what I would say. Oh, like for A1, I literally, you knew I was gone for like 19 days. I was not even home. I didn't even touch my computer or anything. Came back that Monday after a 13-hour drive and like slept all day Monday. Didn't even play Sim Tuesday. Just downloaded the track that night. And then decided to race Wednesday and had like a pretty good night considering I hadn't even touched a controller in like a month.
Well, I mean, that's what we were talking about when they announced that it would be like live qualifying. Was how much easier it would be for like
That was
us
mean.
to make the night
Last
show.
time made her jump.
Say hi to the
Yes,
camera.
I did.
I know they're doing like a behind the scenes right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So you jumped in on the behind the scenes,
Behind the scenes.
Mr. Fox.
I know.
But yeah, like Dart even made the night show. He didn't make a single night show last year.
There's less people this year.
Well, there's less people, but I feel like it helps the people that already know how to play instead of the hot.
How do you guys feel about the new subscription? How it affects like the whole vibe of the racing scene? Now?
Makes it more serious.
Yeah, I think it makes it more serious.
I will say this: I think the qualifying now is much better because you have guys that really care about the game and like respect each other. And I just feel like qualifying is cleaner now. You don't have like idiots getting in your way all the time. And
Well, and then for people who are paying now that don't want to pay right then and max or maybe not make all the rounds, not qualifying instead of being like that annoying 3 days of like, I don't have to play every single day to get a lap time.
Yeah.
It turns into like an hour. It's actually fun. I think it's really fun.
I think it's fun.
It's like
too.
a whole new event for an hour. Of
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to qualify. Like, where am I at? For the top guys, it's probably pretty boring because it's just like they know they're going to get in.
Well, I mean, like
But
that just reminds me of like when we would do winter indoor racing because like back then you guys were still fast enough to like qualify at the top, and so it was like that challenge of like trying to beat those guys instead of trying to just make it into the night show.
yeah, with the old format, it was just 3 days of like, okay, I finally have a good enough lap time. Can I please not play this game? For
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like last year, I feel like when I would qualify, or just anybody would qualify that you knew would have to go to work the next day, that like I don't know, get like a 20th place time, and then they just watch them fall all
That was
the
me.
way down.
That
Yeah,
was me.
you.
I would qualify early because I was on the East Coast or West Coast here, and then I'd go to work, and I'd come home and have like an hour to like scramble to try to get back into the top 40 because I was right outside the top 40.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. And I didn't want to have to do that because like I'd have a long day at work and then come home and like I just want to race because I thought I did well. And now I have to bust my ass to qualify.
Well, and two, like now that we have to pay, like it almost kind of weeds out those kids that dedicated their life to it, because like it's either they do pay, they get their parents to pay or something like that, or they're just gone because they can't pay it, and they, So now we're like actually playing against people that are like more respectful, our age, closer to our age at least.
Well, you're going to be serious about it if you're paying money.
Yeah.
So
Because if you get banned, then it's
I'm
just
wasting
25
$25.
bucks.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking back to first Supercross series, 2010, right? I was in college, or just graduated college, or no, finishing up college that year, I think.
You can have this in the background.
And I played the game a lot because I had a lot of time. So that's when I was like, when I say one with the controller, I like, my setup was so loose that I could just put the bike wherever I wanted, make it do everything I wanted to, and I just knew what was going to happen. Same thing with 2011. I then started my career, but I still had a lot of free time because I was living on my own, et cetera, and so that's basically what I was doing. Then 2012, I moved in with my then girlfriend, and you guys remember that fiasco, right? So like, my time playing the game was like way down, and I think that, I mean, this is a game you have to play pretty often to do really well.
And that's what people hate about it too, is that like seeing now having a YouTube channel where all these kids are asking me all these questions about how to play it, and they're like, well, what do you recommend? And I'm like, just play it a lot and like get comfortable doing the tough things that are about the game, like trying to come out of a corner and stand yourself back up. Like nobody gets that concept when they come from MX versus ATV because it just does it for them.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what the fuck? Like I keep tipping over everywhere.
In fact, you kind of have to scrub or whip for a lot of jumps in Supercross. Because you got to set yourself up for corners.
Dude.
So doing a whip is like a whole event for people when they first start, but you have to just do that in racing.
I finally said something to the Race Factory guys because I'm tired of how peaked out these triples are that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's not real
You can't
anymore.
even really scrub them
Like
anymore.
it's like this kind of a takeoff with like this kind of a landing,
Yeah.
which isn't like the worst thing, but you literally have to scrub, like you're saying, every triple jump into the corner because
I don't even feel like I can scrub anymore because this takeoff is so steep.
I end up double whipping constantly.
Yeah.
You end up like the bike gets all freaked out. Whereas if you go ride the 2010, 11, basically the JLB Supercross tracks, you can like wash out the front end and scrub those triples.
Yeah, because well, I mean, like when you watch racing now, like they don't ever whip a Supercross triple anymore. Like, and if they do, it's not like gnarly upside down or anything crazy like that. It's literally just like a little kick out.
Mm-hmm.
So now every time that they go over a triple, it's just like a little pump scrub every lap.
Yeah.
And you can't do that on the triples that we have because they just pitch you way to the moon if you just try to like pump it.
Yeah, if you either straight air, just like you launch to the moon, come back down, sometimes legs off because you're coming out so flat.
I mean, I've complained about it for a long time that these tracks are, I think, actually, let me back up. The tracks this year are pretty good. They're pretty fun to ride. I think they got the scaling to a fun point, but in the past they've been like huge, and I'm a guy that likes realistic tracks.
Well, in the past, I feel like at least in 2014 there was a lot of like jumps that they were trying to make them rolled out, so if you cased it you didn't crash immediately, but they also made it like straight down like the backside, so you had to like really time it, and then the next jump would pitch you straight up so you wouldn't like quad after that. And it sucked. Like it was so hard to time everything clean every lap, and you'd crash a lot too.
Yeah. I don't know, the tracks are heading in a weird direction. Some parts are better, but then yeah, like the triples and stuff, there's not. It's the wrong way.
My setup today is so different than the setup I ran years ago.
A lot of people, I guess, use your stability settings or whatever.
Really?
The ones that you post on the forums.
Oh, okay. The one I used today, it's so stiff, and I just feel like the track forces you to run. I mean, some guys are still running loose setups, but I certainly can't play the game anymore on these tracks with my old setup.
You didn't have fall off or anything. So you could
That's true.
You could just run a loose setup and.
That's true.
If you landed sideways or whatever, you just pick yourself up immediately.
Right, well, I mean, casing stuff didn't matter. You could ride out of anything. I think, wasn't it? You could ride out of anything for a while there.
I think actually Jeremy Shipley runs close to the setup that I was running back in the day. Like
We certainly make
really,
him look good.
really loose, and he's so good. He reminds me of how I was back then, just like loose and fluid. And
Dude, I don't know how he was running 54s, like 54.9s, like every single lap.
he got on a stint in the main. I went back and watched the main demo. He was just clicking off in traffic too, clicking off like 30, 53, 54s. Right, he ran a 53, I think.
I don't know
No,
if you're in a 53, but you were in like a 54.6.
54.6 was the fastest.
All right, then he was like clicking off 54s then,
And
it was
he
just
came-
insane through traffic too.
Well, he was like 18th on lap 1, right? And he was up to like 10th by maybe the 3rd or 4th lap, but then from then on he just was like picking people off.
Yeah, it was like he was like almost at last start. Came through, I mean, because lap 1 is almost full lap, right? So after a full lap almost, he's still 18th. I think I was in like 20th, so I could see him. I thought I was done. But, and then yeah, by lap 2, he passed 6 people on lap 2, which got to 12th. And from there, you watch him just slowly, like hit the little history chart, right?
Yeah.
He didn't crash somehow coming through traffic, and his line is just going up. Like he was gaining on Tyson and,
Oh, he
and
definitely
Dave
was.
the whole race.
Yeah.
He was slowly.
But like I said, dude, that's so good because I knew as soon as Hunter decided he wasn't going to race anymore, I was like, dude, Tyson's going to walk the field this year because he looked really good last year and they broke away from everybody. Like, him and Hunter were like at least a good race distance ahead of everybody by the end of it.
Yeah, they always lapped people. They were lapping up to like 10th on a regular basis, right? It was like pretty much expected.
Crazy.
Let's talk about front end lock.
Do you want me to wrap it up, honey? We don't have to keep filming.
Can we, JLV? You're probably gonna see this. Maybe.
He won't.
That's
That's random video.
He's like,
Fix the front end BS. I get the point, but like, I think it could be executed better because how many times do we go into the first corner and you see like 6 guys just flopping, and then you go in the second corner and you just like tap somebody and it causes way more chaos and problems than it prevents, I feel like.
Well, I thought that his initial intent with front end lock was make it so that if you punted someone hard, then it screwed you. There was no like bunch them out of the way and keep going.
that was the original because it wasn't even meant for like competitive racing. It was just overall like people punting in like generic servers. Because that was kind of like people actually raced the generic servers because there wasn't really a series. So people were a little more serious in the like OO and stuff, whatever. And people, well, yeah, you could just punt somebody and they go flying,
So it's
and you just keep going.
So I think it used to actually be front end lock, but he changed it to where it just basically drops your roll damping off for some time.
It's like stupid.
So I've actually found that if you have a stiffer setup, you can like fight it and control
yeah,
it.
I mean,
and
you can fight
and
and-
save it.
What's weird though is that I feel like I don't understand. So is it like when your roll damping just like shuts down or whatever it is? Does it gradually come back or
Yeah.
does it like just switch back on?
Yeah,
suddenly?
no. It what it feels like is it goes way down and then it like linear comes back in over.
Because I feel like there's
a
times
second
where
or
like
so.
I'll like get hung up in a bull corner, run in the back of someone, and then back up and try to get away from them. And then I'm halfway down the rhythm section, and I just like do this and fly all over the place or something. So like that's what pisses me off. Like front end lock in the corner is like okay, whatever. Like you hit someone in the back tire, obviously it's gonna go wink and then down. But the after effect that it seems to have pisses me off so bad. Where you're just like, I'm done. I'm past whatever front end lock started with.
That's why I think the idea is good. It should just be like an initial jolt of the bars, because that's what would happen in real life.
Yeah.
You hit somebody's tire. Actually, maybe not. If you're like right behind somebody and you like rub your front tire on their back tire, then you're probably.
Well, it would lift up too, though, because it would like ride up the back wheel, wouldn't it?
Well, if you like hit it on an angle, you will lose your balance and fall over.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happens. But like, if you hit somebody like at a wide enough angle, your front end's just gonna like jerk,
Yeah.
and then almost immediately after that, you're gonna be able to control again. So I feel. I don't know. At least in competitive racing, like RF, let the rules. If people are still going to like plow into people, let the rules prevent them from doing that, and not the physics of the game.
But that's what I'm saying is that if it goes back to when he installed it to prevent like hardcore punting, he's fixed the collisions now that you can like ram someone and they don't go to the moon.
Yeah.
They just like maybe go over the berm, but not crazy anymore.
And like Brian's saying, like, okay, if you just hit somebody and you punt them in a real race, RF will just bang
Yeah,
you. So
yeah.
they don't need it as a deterrent. You can leave it in, like, just have it be, where you can toggle it. Leave it in whatever server you want to, but have it be able that you can run a RF server and disable it so you can actually.
How many times do you see, like, it goes back to my original conversation, you're going down the start straight and you just, like, brush up against somebody and your rider's just like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and you see it all the time, like going through the first corner, guys are tiptoeing through the first corner, and they tap somebody and fall over, and then you have like a wall of riders in front of you. Then the other riders come through and tap them and fall over. It's like a domino effect backwards, and it's not good.
I mean, like that. I think that is the only reason we can't go into turn 1 and make a clean 20 rider like through the first corner anymore.
Like, you'll
Because
never
like
see
you,
it because of
you
that.
can like kind of like bump people a little bit these days. Like when you put A-Wood off the track, you just kind of like bumped him forward. Like you didn't bump him and he just fell over. You didn't jam your bars and you fell over. There was actual contact. But then as soon as your front wheel gets involved, it's just like whip down. So
Yeah.
like it sucks.
Well, I mean, because like in the main, that happened to me. It was somebody already down. I'm trying to get through the first corner clean. I think I lightly touched his front wheel as I was going by, and the rider just dies and you fall over. And then you fall off the bike because the way you happen to land kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate the new bar collisions because
Yeah.
you tip over and your head hits instead.
Yeah, so then I had like a 12-second fall off when I was trying to be nice and do the right thing, and then your race is pretty much ruined. I mean, unless you're Shipley, but.
All right.
All right, we should probably, yeah. Wrap it up.